Hi, my name is Taylor. Before my concussions, I wasn't super athletic, but I feel like I was athletic enough where I was a dancer, I was a cheerleader. I loved those things, and at the time, especially in high school, you feel like there's nothing else in the world but your athletics. So they definitely meant a lot to me. I was really into school. I made straight A's. I knew where I wanted to go to college. I kind of had my life planned out, which I like having plans, so this has really thrown a kink into everything. But throughout high school, I actually got my first concussion as a sophomore from cheerleading. And at first, it wasn't that bad. I was kind of okay. All the clinics said I was fine, that there was no reason for me to stop cheering. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna cheer, everything's fine. And I went and I cheered some more. I had my really bad concussion as a junior, and I also got 2 more my senior year. And I could tell things like really started to take a turn. I had to alternate classes in high school, which really sucked. And the teachers weren't really accommodating, so it was also frustrating. People always ask, like, why aren't you in school all the time? Why do you always feel so bad? Like, you're not really fun to be around. And my grades also started to kind of slip a little bit. It was hard, not being in class consistently, and I struggled with math and things that normally I was good at. I loved math, and then for some reason I went from A's to a C and couldn't understand why this was going on. I was able to graduate. I got into my #1 school, so I was really excited about that. I go to UNC Chapel Hill. I started out kind of my freshman year. I was like, I was going to take these classes. I was going to do great. I did fine in high school. So this is going to be better. I was better for my concussions. My life should be fine now. But first semester, I kind of overestimated myself. I had 2 science classes and a language class, and it was way too much for me to handle. I did not do well. I really struggled academically, and for the most part, people said, well, you're a freshman, that's normal, you just have to figure it out, college classes are different, maybe you need to change your studying, that kind of thing. Maybe you need to get some more sleep, different things like that. Go to office hours, which office hours are great, by the way. So I tried all these things, and into second semester, it still didn't get better. I was still struggling. I was on warning as a student, and that was really heartbreaking, just because I couldn't understand why I was doing so bad at school, something I've done so well at for so long. And I was also dancing at the time. I was able to dance in college, which was really nice. But with my grades, just falling, then I didn't really want to go to practice because I felt like I didn't have time to go to practice, because I was like, you need to get your studying up because you're doing bad. So I kind of cut that out and tried to focus more on school, and it didn't really go well. It still was doing bad. I would watch videos. I recorded lectures. I went to office hours. All of this stuff, and even the teachers didn't know. I had one professor who's like, maybe you're just not a language person, which was really sad. So I was like, okay, maybe it's not for me. And I tried some of my other classes, but my math and my science classes that I loved, I just was not doing well in, and I couldn't figure out why. They wanted me to change my major, try something else, which was also just so heartbreaking, because I knew when I came in I wanted to do nursing or something sciencey, that's what I wanted to do, but they're like, maybe you're just not a science person, you should do something else. So over the summer I kind of contemplated, I took 1 class trying to get my grades up, and I contemplated what I should do as far as changing majors, which was not a fun conversation to have, with yourself and with your parents. It's just not fun when you're just doing so bad and you're trying everything and you feel hopeless about it. And then I came back fall semester of this year, and nothing worked. I tried different classes hoping those would be better, and those weren't better. And then I started getting headaches. I had headaches every day, 24/7, wouldn't go away. Tylenol, ibuprofen, Excedrin, nothing worked. If I have another person offer me Excedrin, I'm gonna lose my mind because it doesn't work. It just wasn't, I don't know what was happening. I couldn't figure out what was going on, why my life all of a sudden was spiraling, nothing was going right. And then because I had the headaches, I had trouble falling asleep, I couldn't sleep at night. And you just get really down. Like, I felt depressed because I couldn't do what I wanted to do. I felt like, my social life and my home life was kind of ruined because, I had headaches. I didn't really want to go out as much as I normally do. I didn't really want to go out with friends, and I had kind of distanced myself from them. And then my grades still weren't working with school. So that was frustrating. I had been to see multiple doctors. I went to a neurologist, tried multiple meds, and they just gave me bad side effects. They didn't touch the headaches, which was frustrating. And so on top of the headaches, I would have like tremors or dizzy spells or nausea, and it just wasn't worth taking the drugs. It wasn't worth the time. So after months of doing that, I decided to take a medical leave from school. And I had talked to multiple parents kind of about what was going on, because everyone, of course, was like, why aren't you in school? Which is always fun to explain to people. And one of my friends, her name is Lainey, she had actually done the program here at Cognitive FX. And I talked to her and her mom about it, and she was like, that sounds exactly like what we went through. And at first I was a little skeptical, like even hearing that from them, because I'd tried so much. Everyone was like, you should be fine. Everyone told me it was stress, that it wasn't concussion related, because it had been years since my concussions. Like, you're a college student, you're stressed out, you've got a lot going on. So I was a little skeptical, and I thought, well, I'm going to keep trying, with the neurologist, see what happens. And eventually nothing got better, so I was like, what, I'm going to check this out, and just see. So I did a little bit more research. They showed me her scans. They still had her scans before and after, and showed me her progress. And I was like, oh, this looks pretty cool. So I talked to my parents. I was like, I'm going to do the free phone consultation, just see. Like, let's just see if I'm a good candidate. I don't know if I'm going to do it yet, but let's just see, and just see what they say. So I did it, and I talked to Dr. Fong. She was very nice, and she was the one who even said, this isn't a good course of treatment, like with the neurologist. They're giving you meds that aren't healthy for you. These side effects aren't good for you. I really think you're a good candidate, and you should just give it a shot. So we're from North Carolina. We flew all the way to Utah, which of course people were like, Utah's so far away, but I've never been to Utah. I love it. It's really beautiful here, so I was really excited. And first day I was very nervous. I've never gotten an MRI done before, never had any scans. So that was definitely really nerve-wracking. I kind of freaked out a little bit at first, but everyone here was so nice about it. And my scans back, I got my scans back, and there was something wrong with me, and of course I felt so relieved to find out something was wrong with me, which is a weird statement to say, but I actually felt validated. I was like, please tell me you found something wrong with me that justifies my whole, why I'm doing bad at school and why my emotions are haywire. And I felt so relieved, actually, day one. Even though I wasn't better yet, I still was like, okay, this is good. I feel validated. Let's get this going. They get what I'm saying. They're not like, oh, you're just stressed, which is, I'm tired of hearing that. So we started out with all the different activities, and it never felt like a chore, which was really nice. It felt more like I was doing games, or it was fun. I never felt like I was bored ever, even with the brainwaves activities. I never was like, oh, okay, I'm ready for this to be done, move on to the next thing. I really enjoyed all the things I did, and everyone here is so nice. It's so much fun to talk to everybody, and a few of them have gone through the treatment too, which is really nice. You get to talk about your stories, and you get close with everyone here that you're kind of going through the treatment with, which is fun. I feel like I've made a bunch of new friends. And I know for the first couple days, I was like, okay, I'm doing good. And about halfway through on Wednesday, I woke up and I was like, oh, I just feel awful. I had a bad headache, I was tired, and everybody else kind of felt awful. And you have that moment where you're like, is it not working? You get really concerned, why do I feel awful all of a sudden, halfway through? Why is this not, I worked hard, why is it not working? But of course, everyone said, this is normal, you've been working so hard, you're really tired. Everyone feels this way probably halfway through. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a chance. So I worked really hard that day, even though I felt awful and I really wanted to take a nap. But I worked through everything, and that afternoon I felt so much better. I felt better that night, and I remember telling my mom, I feel pretty good today. I felt awful this morning, but I don't feel awful anymore. And that was kind of a big turning point for me. I didn't have that same headache that I have 24/7. It was definitely less. I felt like I had more energy to do things. And I was like, this could be good for me. So I went Thursday. I worked hard again. I felt fine Thursday. Thursday night I was actually able to do stuff. I walked around with my mom. We explored Utah some. We went out to eat. We did like some shopping, some sightseeing. It was really cool actually not having to go and lay in bed for the rest of the night and just kind of be by yourself. So it was definitely fun getting to see things. And then my last day, everything just kind of fell into place. Like I felt good. I kept telling everybody I felt perky because I didn't really know how to say it. I was like, I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel like happy for no reason, if that makes sense. So everything was great. I did my last scan and I could tell I did better at the activities. Like I was like, oh, I know the answer to that, or oh, I can do this. Like I felt more confident with it, and I felt like I went faster on a lot of the activities. So I already knew. I was like, my scans have to be better. Like they have to be. So I waited and we got to go over the scans, and I had improved so much. I'm still so shocked about how much I've improved. And my brain is so much healthier, and even with certain activities, they're like, you've increased by at least 20 points. Some things I increased by like a minute, my speed. Just everything has gotten so much better. I feel so much happier, and I don't know, I'm so excited to like get back out there and kind of restart with my life, and go back and tackle school and just basically tackle the world. I feel like I get like I hit like a restart button on everything, and I get basically a fresh new start at life. Like I get my life back. I feel like I can go and I can be athletic again. I can do the things I want to do. I feel motivated to go out and call up a friend and say, hey, let's go do this, or let's go see a movie, or we can go take an athletic class together, where normally I would just kind of stay at home. I didn't feel like doing anything, and I feel so much more refreshed and happy, and I guess in a way energetic, because I feel motivated to go out more. So I'm so thankful for this program, and that my last resort option ended up being the best option. So I'm thankful for this whole experience, and everyone has been so nice. And I encourage everyone to take this opportunity. Like I know you might be skeptical, but you need to take this opportunity. It's probably the best thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. So I highly recommend this. So I just say go for it, I guess. Like I feel like it doesn't matter where you live. Like I saw on the map where so many people have come from like different countries even, and I thought North Carolina was far, but definitely not on the same scale as them. But no, I say like go for it. I mean, I feel like you've got nothing to lose at this point. Like if you feel like you've hit rock bottom and you don't really have anything else to do, I mean, why not? Like, this is your best option, and I like 100% guarantee that. Like, if it's not, like, we need to have a conversation, because this is the best program I think I've ever been through. And I've seen so many doctors, so many like sports medicine people, like neurologists, just therapists, the whole 9 yards, and they can't even touch this place. This place is by far like the best thing that's ever happened to me. So that's all I've got.